Hey guys, welcome. So it's been a while since I've made a video, and the reason why I want to make a video is because of this whole coronavirus and the quarantine thing that is happening, this whole COVID-19 and how people are being quarantined at home, that everything is unsafe, all this, all that. Well, this virus that has basically come from China, China is still able to trade with us. We're getting immigration from China. On my very own streets, we're getting people who barely speak English, telling us to respect this social distancing. We're having the police having parades almost daily on our streets where they're celebrating healthcare workers and themselves, narcissistically just basically implying that they're the heroes and we're all a bunch of just scum that needs to follow this quarantine, because if we break the social distancing, if we make one mistake, if we look wrong, we're like some sort of terrorists that are trying to hurt everybody by being skeptical about all this stuff. Now, I'm a person who strictly follows this whole quarantine thing where I keep the social distance, where I follow all these rules. But quite frankly, I think it's really ridiculous. And what I think is ridiculous is how this is resulting. But what I do know is that, is there a virus out there? Most likely, yes. 100% I believe that there is, but I don't believe that it's just a coincidence that just appeared suddenly on our earth, and now it's this pandemic that is destroying so many lives and so many people that now we need police states all over the world. No, I believe that this pandemic, or whatever you call it, is something that is being released onto our populations, and this is a strategy that is specifically being used to take away our freedoms, everything that we have. And people will be like, oh, that's conspiracy theory and this. I don't care anymore what you say about me. I don't care anymore what you say about people who are skeptical about these things, calling us fascists, conspiracy theorists, even racist, for asking what's happening with our politics, what's happening with our laws, what's happening with how they're growing our food. How is this racist? How is this extreme? The people who are truly racist and are truly extreme are the people that are forcing us to live like this, are forcing us to think like this, that are putting us against each other. The people who are truly extreme are the people that are radicalizing sexuality with this LGBT, imposing censorships on people, poisoning every aspect of our society through education, through what we eat, what we drink, even what we breathe. And this has become so terrible that I call these governments tyrannical governments. I call these governments that have gone too far. Governments that are no different from this image we put on Germans with Hitler. No different from what communism actually was. It's no different. What our governments do with innocent life around the world, what they do with our people here at home, with what they do with our food, our air, our education system, with our lives, how they manipulate us every day, how they rob us through the tax system, all these excuses to why we have to have our freedoms taken away every day. And then now to have this coronavirus or quarantine after decades of this predictive programming that we watch on TV telling us that there's going to be this big pandemic worldwide, that the aliens are coming, that we're gonna need police states against viruses that are gonna you know what I'm saying? What you can watch on Netflix right now, the kind of stuff they show us every day on our world and how it's gonna result, and quite frankly, I'm sick of living like that. And the majority of people in my country are sick of living like that. And the way that they're using race and immigration to split people up, the way that they're using these radical movements, these radical points of views like LGBT and an all-inclusive society that has nothing to do with being inclusive, which has nothing to do with respecting people's freedoms or skin color. We are basically being ran through one of the most racist and oppressive systems ever to exist, to the majority of people who deal with us through trade, through military conflicts, resulting to how our people are being manipulated. It's truly an oppressive, disgusting system. And I cannot believe how many people are truly manipulated to this, thinking that this is normality, thinking that this is some sort of evolution, that this is good. Look at what these people are doing with the nature that we have. Look at what these people are doing with our good laws, with everything that makes our planet good. These people are ruining it. They're ruining every aspect of it. And to see people question this and say, hey man, I'm not going to put up with this. Now, if someone's going to go out there and put themselves in danger and put themselves in the face of a virus and put other people in danger, don't. But what I'm saying is that if they're actually releasing biological weapons that are forcing us to do this quarantine, we have to begin to stand up against it. Because if they are willing to do that, just to take our freedoms away and for them to impose more power, for them to have more power and keep imposing these things, you think this is going to get better? It's not going to get better. It is only going to get worse. And it is very important that our peoples begin to get together and begin to see really what's happening. And right now they're using the social distancing where we're not allowed 2 meters within each other. That is a strategy to keep us apart while they're in reality imposing really terrible things. Begin to call your local police departments. Just throw out the notion. Why are you guys installing such oppressive conditions in our countries? Why are you guys conveniently just basically installing a police state with this excuse of the virus? Make them answer it. Make them have to tell you that no, they're not doing that. Make them have to answer to you. Make them have to discuss amongst their peers in the police departments and the healthcare why people are asking these questions. You know what I'm saying? Because that's exactly what's happening here. They are installing police states in our countries. They are manipulating things, using the immigration as a weapon, using all this social distancing, all this excuse of social justice and how we need this social. They're installing a communistic environment that is worse than fascism. These people are fascist for their power to maintain, while everybody else serves them like slaves. I refuse to live like that. I refuse to have that be imposed onto my family, onto my kids. I'm not going to have that. And I am standing up by using my voice. And I've been standing up for years, and the kind of stuff that we've been dealing with just here on YouTube, being censored, being insulted, having trolls attack our channel, having our channel shut down just for speaking the truth. We are sick of this harassment. We are sick of this abuse. And that's why we are beginning to question this. We do not trust these things that govern us. We do not trust them whatsoever. All people are seeing now is tyranny. And even the people that are coming here from other countries and are the immigration being used against us, where we are being called these racist, fascist people for questioning things, and they're bringing the immigrants in and saying that, hey, we are for the immigrants, and the immigrants are beginning to see how these systems are bombing their countries, forcing people from Latin America to immigrate illegally, forcing people from the Muslim world to immigrate illegally, to be refugees, to be insulted in the very countries that they're immigrating to. You know what I'm saying? This is being done intentionally so that we who are accepting these immigrants are also being insulted, being called racist. You see, everybody is being put against each other. You see? And it's being done in such an oppressive way where people do have something to say against each other. And that's what these people are imposing on us. We have to begin to stand up for ourselves. And you know what? The social distancing, by all means, protect yourself. By all means, wear the mask, wear the gloves, but begin to communicate with one another. Okay? If I'm not allowed within 6 feet of a person, I'm going to begin to speak to people 6 feet away and say, hey, these people are installing a police state. These people are using the immigration in a way that is a weapon against the people who are immigrating here and the people who are originally in these countries. You know what I'm saying? The things that are governing us right now are tyrannical, and it looks like they're preparing for a major slaughter here. What they're doing with our environment, with our skies, with our agriculture, with our education, with every aspect of the living, they are destroying it. They are eradicating and destroying more species than they claim to protect or even say that they're discovering. They're saying that the mass extinctions are happening now while these people are the ones in power imposing all this stuff around the world. It is not us. It is not you. You are not the one polluting and destroying the world, okay? When Greta Thunberg says you are the one in this, when that little child actor is saying that, you're not the one actually destroying the world. These corporations and these people who are actually destroying the world are blaming you for it and saying that we need some sort of communism. Why? So that they can start putting our entire societies in a concentration camp system. Look at how we're living right now. Our cities are becoming concentration camps. We are becoming more than prisoners. We are becoming these people's product where we don't have a future. Look at the ministry of children or social services that deals with kids and families that are living in poverty or squalor. These people are now affecting families who are normal, who are good. They are still playing apartheid with First Nations people. They're talking about, giving respect to people of African American descent in this, while they're still destroying people of First Nations in countries like Canada and the United States through their social services, where people of First Nations still live like different citizens, and they're affected and they're destroyed and they're eradicated every single day. That is still happening in these countries. And instead of speaking against that, we are speaking against all these human rights violations that don't exist, of how the male in the family should be criminalized because there's some sort of rape culture happening all the time. This is social engineering. These movements and these excuses of quarantine because of a virus, these are all weapons. These are all weapons that are being used to keep us separate. And at the same time, they're saying that this is to keep us together, to make us all inclusive. No, it is not. They're playing with things and looking for the right moments for them to squeeze their grip, to impose their power onto us. You know what I'm saying? I apologize that my video wasn't the best of grammar, that my video hasn't been edited in a way where I make it look all cool and stuff like that. Just like the people with YouTube insiders complaining that they're at home speaking to us about how they're taking away our freedom of expression here on YouTube and saying, oh, that this is a company that it's owned, and that they have the right to do this, but yet these corporations, these companies, these bodies of laws, or just acts that are pretending to be laws, are actually preventing other people from being able to share, squelching all other platforms. And then they're saying that they're defending free speech and this, and that they got the right to do it through business. Since when does business have the right to put people in a concentration camp system? Wars are started over those things. Human rights committees and United Nations supposedly started against those things. Supposedly we fought World War I and World War II against the tyranny from the Germans that was going to overtake the world with this whole eugenics. When eugenics was created itself here in these English systems, they claim to fight against it. You see what I'm saying? The things that are the most popular right now, telling us through Hollywood, through these musics, through these programs, through all this stuff, even through our education, through the way we're living our life, because of the way our culture's been shaped, because of these powers. You know what I'm saying? They're not fighting for a free world. They're fighting to enslave the world. They're fighting to make the world what we fought Hitler against, what we warned our people about communism against. When communism was really powerful in the Cold War, this is what we were fighting against. You know, this is why we supposedly toppled so many empires, speaking against imperialism, speaking against kings and queens and oppressions in the church of the past. No. The bigoted system that is the modern church, which is basically the modern church of evil, is what's dominating us today. The bigoted system exists today. Because I'm telling you, all the people that the church burnt at the stake in the past were probably people that they're trying to remove off lands, people who they were trying to compete with, people who just simply, they did not see fit, and as well, probably people who they were prosecuting who were doing really bad things, amongst many others. You know what I'm saying? Those people who were doing those things in the past that we today say we need freedom of religion from, that our laws should not be influenced by religion from, those people who did that in the past that we fought wars over to get away from still govern. Their families still hold power, while we are still being burnt at the stake for whatever the modern excuse is. And this video will be censored. Why? Because they're keeping people from being able to speak out, from being able to use their voice. That's why they got YouTube. Put it all online, put it all on social media, so you forget what it's like to print pieces of paper and give them out to your community door to door. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who stands at the corner, you know, talking about how our society is some sort of Bible thumper. Well, today they're removing all the people who actually decently talk about our morals. And then what do? They have Mormons and Jehovah's Witnesses standing at every public corner, pushing people away. And then when people say, hey, you know what, we should get together, other people say, hey, you know what, you're just Bible thumping. You're just preaching a bunch of stuff. I'm not even talking about religion. I'm talking about how our laws are. Hey, you're a conspiracy theorist, man. I was watching YouTube, YouTube, the platform of freedom, saying that you're fake news. That you standing here on the street corner talking about how our rights are being violated, it's completely hateful. You are racist. You are this. I'm not even speaking about skin color. You're racist. You are sexist. You're trying to rape me. Get away from me. That's how they're making our people be. You're going to college, university to educate yourself. And what they're doing is that they're conditioning our youth to become intelligently retarded. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, you're so educated that you can't function. You can only do what you are taught, and you cannot do anything else. Your family does not matter. Your society does not matter. Anything that is different from what you're taught in school must be wrong, must be against evolution, must be some sort of fascism. You know what I'm saying? Making us believe that living in some condo, paying stratas, paying an arm and a leg just to survive, eating genetically modified food, breathing bad air, everything is genetically modified. You don't have a garden. You don't even have a proper lawn. You know what I'm saying? The reason why you're paying strata fees on top of the property tax, even though you've already paid for your house, basically, you might as well go live in an apartment and pay the rent there because you're still paying the same even though you've paid for your house in fees and taxes. Just so you can live artificially, and by the time you're 50, you got some sort of diabetes. You just got some sort of heart problems, and now you're taking like 12, 20 pills, and they're saying that, hey, life expectancy is going up. How is this going up? Because the last time I checked, things were going pretty bad. But the last time I truly remember health was people before this whole thing where everybody had to live the way we are living today, where everything is wrong, where everything is questionable. All our native and regular behaviors are questionable. But then I'm seeing people from the post-World War era, people who fought in the World Wars, who have bullet wounds in them, people who come from a time where they don't have that much education and they're living longer. Like we got 110-year-old people who remember better than 50-year-olds. And those 50-year-olds are their sons and daughters. Something is wrong. Where your great-grandfather is more physically in shape than the great-grandson who is dying of heart problems. And there's the great-grandfather giving this kid, basically, flowers before he dies. Something is wrong, and they're calling this evolution. No wonder they're censoring everything, keeping us from speaking. You know what I'm saying? Unbelievable. I'm making this video right now. Not only is it going to get censored, it's going to be thrown in some sort of statistics, some sort of AI, and I'm going to be investigated by my own local police department, by intelligence, for making this video. Can you believe that? They're offering services and numbers where you can go report on your neighbor for suspicious behavior. Yet, we can't seem to fix our health. Because this quarantine is inevitable. Are you kidding me? No wonder people are starting to protest this stuff. And then the news, the government, they have the balls to come out and say, people don't believe us? Excuse me. You are mass murdering your own people. Like, virus or not, or wars or not, it's just the way you are governing these things. The way that you are invading people around the world. The way that you have trolls and propaganda attacking people who stand up for themselves. Are you kidding? You will never be able to convince decent people. You are losing your grip, and I hope you lose it hard and fall hard. Because you people deserve to be in jail. Not governing our people. You deserve to be in jail. Pelican Bay or something like that. Seriously. Seriously.